I'm Celeste.
And I'm Morgan.
And we are
Hexen Arcane. What do we got from tonight, Celeste?
Oh, this is really, really fun. We are showing a voodoo zombie movie.
It was made in 1971, and it's actually part of a double feature for, what is it? The vampire one. I want to drink your blood.
Yeah,
I drink your blood.
That's
it.
This is
I Eat Your Skin.
It's a 1971 movie, but it was actually shot in 1964, and it wasn't released for about 6 years, and then it was bought by the person who ended up releasing it as a double feature.
Yep. Also, the cast had numerous health problems in the Florida swamps. And what else happened to them, too?
Yep, two of the stars almost got attacked by sharks.
Way to go.
And this movie has a 3.5 rating out of 10 on IMDb, so you're in for a very fun time tonight.
Always.
Speaking of fun time,
yeah.
Where have you been going on the weekends?
Not your business. Just know I'm having fun and I'm safe. And I'm probably going to go disappear again. Why do you ask?
Because I'm like sitting here by myself on weekends, like, I tried knitting.
How'd it go?
Terrible. I don't knit. I threw it in the fire, along with all your knitting stuff, because I was mad.
What? Why my stuff?
Because I was mad that you weren't there. I never do anything fun.
Go find something fun to do. It's not that hard.
I
mean, it really is that hard, but...
Why don't you want me involved? You're up to something.
It's my business. What I do is my business. I'm not back at the troll market, okay?
Yeah, I'll only worry when it's spring again. That starts up.
Isn't the public indecency charges started?
Hey, never mind. I successfully fought that charge.
Yeah, you did.
Because apparently it's difficult to be that indecent when you're wearing a groundhog suit.
Yeah, I don't play that. It's, you go big or you go home.
You know those things have like zip up butt flaps?
No.
Yeah.
No, so that was unnecessary. I could have, oh. Someday I'll learn.
Yeah. Anyway, we fought our public indecency problems for the most part.
You did. You did.
And I guess I better find something to do this weekend because Morgan apparently has big mysterious plans that she's not telling me about.
So mysterious.
But if you guys are into voodoo zombies, I think you will definitely not enjoy this film because apparently it's terrible. Anyway, do you have anything to add about this film?
No, I really don't.
I don't either.
It's going to speak for itself.
Yeah, we're going to let this work speak for itself. I like that. Yeah.
And I'm sure Celeste will find a really fun thing to do, and I'm going to end up getting FOMO from it because that's how it always goes.
Well, I have FOMO right now. I have to think of something, but I'll get back to you guys on that. And why don't you start this movie?
up, and there she stood on the balcony as nature meant her to be. The blood began beating in his temples. Her eyes were blue, black, gorgeous beads of beautiful ebony. They called, demanded him to come to her. He was up the stairs in a few bounds, and before he knew it, he was standing in her doorway.
Well, go on, go on.
Where was I? Let's see. Oh, yes. There he stood, framed in the doorway. She was on the bed. Her breath was coming heavy now in short, abrupt bursts. The veins in his throbbing temples were beating as if they would burst.
So he picked up the pulsating pail of ice water and dreamily dumped it on her. That's right out of your second novel, Hot Lips.
Hey, old buddy. Welcome home. Did you lose all your millions at Monte Carlo?
Where have you been? I've been trying to get in touch with you since I came back.
Well, to tell you the truth, old buddy, I was holed up in my room all this time working on this, great story.
You haven't turned in one word in 3 months. Where is this great story?
Oh, up here, old guardian of my mental treasures, up here.
Okay, Harry Harris. You've got exactly 30 seconds to get off your can. I've got a job for you. You've got 15 seconds to get up from here.
Are you?
5 seconds.
Oh no, there's my husband.
Hey, Doug, did you say something about a job? Cool it, buddy, cool it.
Enrico, come.
Wait a minute, that's my suitcase and my typewriter.
I'll explain later.
Look, Doc, wait a minute.
Am I late, T.H.?
Oh, no, of course not. Doc, this is my secretary. We've got some dictating to do.
Hey, Harris.
Oh, honey, keep your pencil sharp, will you? I'll be right back.
But honey, you don't understand.
Sorry, old man, no room, no room.
Harris, I'm gonna kill you.
It's a little drafty in here.
I'm gonna kill you, Harris.
Where to, sir?
Straight to the airport, Enrico, and step on it.
Wait a minute, what do you mean airport?
When I was in Monte Carlo, I met a Lord Carrington at the casino. He had a most interesting tale to tell.
Was he winning or losing?
This Wells, Tom, it really doesn't matter. Lord Carrington inherited an island in the Caribbean, and this island is so remote that only he could approximate its location.
What, pray tell, does all this have to do with me?
You, Playboy writer, my card-playing wife, and I are going to this island. You're starting on your next bestseller.
Oh, no, Enrico, pull over.
Now, wait just a minute. Let me finish. If you don't like my story, I'll take you back to the hotel and you can continue your debauchery. The more that I heard what was happening on Voodoo Island.
Voodoo Island?
Yes, that's the name of the island. The more I began to think what a wonderful background this would make for an adventure novel. In the first place, the natives practice voodoo.
So they practice voodoo.
Secondly, there's a large quantity of highly poisonous snakes on the island.
You're hurting your cause.
Now listen, please. Lord Carrington has set up a foundation to perform experiments with the snake venom. There's been a famous scientist there for years trying to find a cure for cancer.
Interesting, but not interesting enough. Sorry.
Now wait, let me finish. I haven't gotten to the most important part yet. These voodooists actually perform human sacrifices. And that there's some superstition about an army of walking dead. I presume you would call them zombies.
You actually contemplate taking that lovely, voluptuous kook of a wife whom you claim to love, and me, your breadwinner, whom you claim to be your best friend, to an island overrun with dead people, practicing human sacrifices and voodoo for the sake of a good book?
There is one important thing I did leave out.
What is that?
Girls.
Girls?
Virgin natives. Just waiting for some sophisticated swinger like you to come along and pluck them off their tropical vines. Yeah. It was very funny. Lord Carrington said that a few years ago, all the men of the island were out to sea fishing when a hurricane struck, and it left the island populated with 5 girls to every 1 man.
5 to 1? Interesting.
Hey everyone, Celeste here from Hexen Arcane, and I'm reporting from a mystery location. So Morgan has this thing lately where she disappears on weekends and I have no idea where she goes, so I thought it sounded like fun and I was going to channel my inner Morgan. And since she likes to commit crimes, I thought I'd go to the airport and grab a suitcase and a ticket and see where I was going. So I managed to make off with a suitcase and a ticket, and in there was a badge for a conference. So I'm going to a conference. I am dressed in the clothes I found in the suitcase, and I am in Atlanta, Georgia for the weekend, and I'm super excited about it. And while I will attend the conference just to see what it's all about and have some fun, and of course I'm impersonating someone, so I gotta show up. Yeah, impersonating someone's a crime. Anyway, then we won't talk anymore about that. But I thought I'd have some fun too and see the sights. So I am actually here at Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm at the grave of Margaret Mitchell Marsh, the author of Gone with the Wind. And I have read this book like 3 or 4 times now. I love it. I know there's a lot of controversy around it, understandably so, and I get it. There's a lot of stuff in there where I'm like, eeh. At the same time, Margaret Mitchell was such an amazing author, and she really had a way of bringing her story to life and the characters to life. So although she was definitely a product of her time and there's some stuff that's really problematic there, I love the writing, I love the story, I love the characters, and it's one of those books I keep coming back to, and I think I always will. So I had to come pay my respects. She's here with her husband, John Robert Marsh, and Margaret Mitchell actually wrote, she was a novelist, but she only wrote 1 novel. Gone with the Wind was her only book. She wrote it in 1936. She was born in 1900, and even though she was a product of her times, in a lot of ways she was ahead of her time too. Her mother was one of the first suffragettes. There are some things in her history too where I'm like, you know, shaking my head like, no, why would you do that? But at the same time, there were a lot of aspects where she was ahead of her time, or like to push boundaries and push the envelope a little bit. And I think that her life story is really cool and interesting. She kind of grew up in the aftermath of the Civil War, with Atlanta being rebuilt, and her father was a lawyer and helped to build the first library here, things like that. So the family has a lot of history there. It's pretty cool. And this cemetery is just amazing. I'm going to take a little walk through and show you guys some of it. But I'm so happy to make it here to see Margaret. Wow. This is so cool. It's Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's a place you could just walk around in. It is so beautiful. I love these paths. They're brick paths. Everything's really well kept up. Just like stained glass, and I'm having a fun time walking around here exploring. See, that looks like somewhere I would live if I was into tiny houses. I just love the style of it. And I'm gonna do a little exploring here. So I'm trying on some of the clothes that I found in this suitcase. And so I cut my hair. I mean, I can change my hairstyle whenever because I'm a witch, but I feel like this is the kind of hairstyle that someone with fiduciary responsibilities would have. So I've got that going, and then I have this outfit. This was in the suitcase, so I'm going to rock this today for the conference. See what's up. I feel like a very respectable, responsible person, not at all someone who would steal people's stuff in an airport and run off for a weekend. I so really don't feel like myself, but look, I'm so responsible looking.
Baby, did you miss me?
Oh, Tommy, I longed for your arms, your lips, your...
All right. Will you please tell me what this cockamamie thing is all about?
You won't believe it. Let Moneybags explain.
All right, okay. What the hell is this all about?
Now, Coral, calm down.
I'm right in the middle of the greatest canasta game ever. I've got Sophie into me for $3.42, and the beach boy walks by and says that this smo calls and says pack for a week and to meet him at the airport. Now, give her the explanation.
Coral, lovely. Because I love you so much and because I want you to have everything, I'm taking you and your best lover away on a vacation. Just think, 4 or 5 hours across that lovely blue Caribbean lies a land of every man's dreams, where we can lie in the hot sun all day and drink long, cool, exotic rum drinks.
I can do that at the Fontainebleau.
Okay, big mouth, just get in the plane.
But
Just get in the plane.
don't talk to me like that.
If you don't get in the plane this very minute, I'm going to cancel every one of your charge accounts in every department store, couture, salon in this country. And in Paris, and in London.
Well, you don't have to get dirty about it.
In.
What am I doing up here? I get sick in elevators.
Carl.
It's all right, darling. We'll be there soon.
Can you see it? It doesn't seem to be where we marked it on the map, sir.
Well, I don't understand. Lord Carrington marked it himself.
Well, we better find something soon. Look!
You think you can make it?
We'll make a go at it, sir.
Well, switch over to the emergency tank.
We are on the emergency tank now, sir.
Here, let me take over. Maybe I can make the beach.
All right, hold on. Here we go. We're going in.
Well, let's see where we are.
I wonder where the inhabitants are, Tom.
Well, I spotted a glimpse of a house up at that end of the island.
Hey, would you bring me a banana or coconut or something? Well, I got hungry with excitement.
You could do with a little dieting, honey.
Well, get a load of talking tubbo.
Look, none of that. You stay with the plane. I'll be back as soon as possible. Enrico, you better give me my gun.
Hurry back.
senor.
Ah, buenos dias, señor.
We've been forced to land on the beach. Can you tell me where I can get some help?
Sí, señor. Follow me. Vienen conmigo.
Here, let me take those for you. What are those drums?
Ah, señor. They are voodoo drums. Desde que usted ha llegado. En esta noche va a haber un sacrificio.
Sacrifice?
Sí, un sacrificio por Don Bela Hueda.
What's going to be sacrificed?
Yo no sé, señor. No puedo hacer más.
Señor, acá está parado, señor.
Tomás, venga aquí. Tres, ¿sí?
Sí, somos tres.
Mr. Fairchild. Mr. Fairchild, if you can hear me. Don't be frightened. We're friends. We won't hurt you. Oh, Mr. Fairchild, thank goodness you're all right.
I'm not Mr. Fairchild. I'm Tom Harris.
Oh, yes, Mr. Harris. I'm Charles Bentley. Mr. Fairchild radioed you'd be coming. Terribly sorry this had to happen to you. Been hunting the man who killed him for over a week. He's violently insane, of course. Suddenly went berserk, slaughtered his wife and child, and now this. I hope he didn't hurt you.
Not for the want of trying.
Tomás, Mario. Toman esta dirección. He ran in that direction, didn't he?
Yes, he went that way.
Cuidado.
Okay.
We have to get to him before his own people do. They got him first. I hate to think what they'd do to him. You see, Mr. Harris, these are very simple people. They understand only that deed, not the cause. Deranged mind, a homicidal maniac. It's quite beyond their comprehension. Well, I saw your plane coming in. I couldn't tell where it landed.
We ran out of gas and we had to land on the beach.
You've had 2 narrow escapes. Let's hope the rest of your stay on the island isn't quite so hazardous. Come on.
Hey everyone, Celeste here, and I took some time off from the conference, which the first day was pretty boring. I think it had to do with like accounting, or there's something about fiduciary responsibilities. I don't know, I fell asleep. So being Morgan, or trying to emulate Morgan, so far is not as fun as I thought it would be, but I did take a trip to Sonoya, Georgia. Now, I was here a few years ago with geolock gear, and we weren't really able to get good footage at the time, but I want to cover some of the stuff, and I've heard it's developed since then. So behind me, I'm excited to say, is Alexandria. So this is the filming location for the outside walls. Let me give you a better view. as you can see, there are the infamous, iconic, and recognizable walls of Alexandria right here. And looks like one of the houses back there, it's private property, so I really can't go in or anything like that. But I think it's so cool to see this. It's wild just to be by it and see it. And I'm sure everyone knows what a giant Walking Dead fan I am, so this is really neat for me to be here again. And I am going to go up a little bit closer just to take a quick look at it. I don't want to trespass on anyone's property. I don't want to bother anyone. It's kind of early in the morning because I have more of the conference later today, which I hope gets more interesting. Also a little bit cold out this morning, but here we have a closer look. You can see it's being propped up there. And we're back. So, I know I showed you part of the filming location for Alexandria, but this is the main portion behind me for Alexandria. Now, the town of Sonoya is like the cutest little town. I actually love it. A lot of the houses are really cutesy, also a little bit creepy. It's kind of got a creepy vibe to it, which I love. There's been a lot of other movies and things that have been filmed here. For example, Fried Green Tomatoes, Driving Miss Daisy. There were things filmed here. I believe Sweet Home Alabama and some other movies. There's little plaques around town for it. So although it's a small town, it is the site for a lot of things that have been filmed here, which of course my favorite is The Walking Dead. And I like walking through the town. A lot of the downtown, which I'll show you in a little bit, was used for the town of Woodbury. Alexandria and Woodbury are two of my favorite locations. I have a special fondness for Alexandria. I have to admit, it's probably my favorite. And I'm going to give you a closer up view. So now that filming has wrapped on The Walking Dead, they filmed the last episodes of it. So they're actually going to be dismantling the walls of Alexandria and the windmill and I believe the church. And the homes that they built for filming are actually going to be sold. So you're going to have people living in Alexandria. I'm going to give you a better view in a sec. But I think that's kind of cool. Also really sad that if I come back here, I may not get to see these iconic walls being held up. I can just see the walkers trying to get in right now in my head. So you can see the walls. Now you can't actually get in here, so you can just see the tops of the buildings, the windmill, and this large stretch of wall. All the houses back there. But the walls actually go pretty far, so you can see the scope of how they had this available for walkers, hordes of walkers to threaten them. And you know, the way they're propped up, it's exactly how I remember it from the show. So this is the infamous pudding house from Walking Dead. Yes, this is where Carl sat out on the roof and ate pudding. And you can see it looks pretty much the same to me. I think that's so cool. This is, I believe, someone's private residence, so I'm not going to go up to it or anything. But yeah, the pudding house.
Pablo. Encierro. No habla.
Sí, señor.
¿Comprende?
Sí, señor.
Hey, quick, get in the plane. Lock the door.
¿Por qué vayas aquí, eh? ¿Eh? Vengan ustedes a sus casas.
¿Por qué es el avión a la playa, señor?
No les importa. Vayan ustedes. Robbie, usted y cuatro esperan aquí.
Sí, señor. Ustedes cuatro, esperamos aquí.
Mr. Fairchild, I'm Charles Bentley.
How do you do?
I'm Lord Carrington's overseer on the plantation here on the island.
Mr. Bentley, this is my wife, Coral.
Am I glad to see you, honey?
Well, it's my pleasure. Well, welcome to our island. Let's go up to the house. You can freshen up, and then we'll celebrate your arrival.
Thank you. What about the plane?
Roby and his men will roll it up on the beach and tie it down. This is Guarita, my housekeeper.
Welcome.
She'll take good care of you.
Thank you, honey. Oh, Mr. Bentley, what a lovely house you have. It's so tropical.
Well, come in, come in. Now, please, all of you, mi casa es su casa. My house is your house.
This way, please. This way, please.
All right, come on, honey. Oh, Dunk. Tom, look. What a glorious tropical sunset.
Look, you two, there's something very strange going on in this island. I don't know what it is. But this afternoon when I was coming up to... Guarita?
Si, senor.
Guarita, is it true there is to be a sacrifice tonight?
Sacrifice? Who's sacrificing what?
I do not understand, senor. I'll show you to your room. This way, please.
We'll talk about this later.
You frightened me.
Oh, I am sorry. What part of heaven did you fly down from?
Oh, boy. Mr. Harris, I've read some of your books, and I only hope you're more original in person.
Well, I'm afraid that's one of the occupational hazards of being a writer. You, stand naked before the world. Well, the least you can do is tell me your name.
Only on one condition, if you mix me something very cold to drink.
Well, lead the way. Well?
I'm Janine Bilodeau. My father, Dr. August Bilodeau, is here on the island doing some experimental research.
Oh, so your father is the man that's going to find the cure to the world's deadliest disease.
Let us say, Mr. Harris, that my father is doing his very best. He works hard. Too hard, perhaps.
Well, here.
Salute. I see you at least mix an excellent drink, Mr. Harris. What is it?
A Rob Roy.
Oh. Well, what brings such an important person such as yourself to Voodoo Island?
To find you. A wandering sailor came by one day and told me of a beautiful blonde goddess who inhabited this island.
From which one of your books was that line?
My next one, I hope.
I see you've already met Janine. Mr. Harris, this is Dr. August Bilodeau.
Oh, how do you do, Doctor?
How do you do? Charles was telling me in the garden about your arrival, Mr. Harris. And if, as I understand it, you're here to gather background material for a new novel, you've certainly made a very successful start.
Well, I'm afraid I'd prefer to fictionalize that incident.
It must have been horrible.
Well, that native that killed the fisherman and attacked me this afternoon, there was something very unnatural about him. That skin and those eyes. You know, I've heard a rumor that there's an army of walking dead on this island. Is there any truth to that?
Well, maybe I can explain this, Mr. Harris. Growing on this island is a very rare plant that when the roots are crushed and left to dry in the sun, it forms a very toxic narcotic. And for centuries, the natives have used this as we use alcohol. But excessive use of this narcotic sets up a strong chemical reaction in the body tissues. Maybe that can explain the abnormal appearance of the native and his deadly intent.
Well, I see you've started without us.
Hi, everybody.
I must apologize. We had a little trouble deciding what to wear.
Enrico, make that a double. Oh, I feel like swinging tonight. Well, who's this pretty little thing?
Coral and Duncan Fairchild, this is Janine and Dr. August Bilodeau.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Dinner served, Signor.
Gracias, Guarita. Benignos. If you want those cocktails, I'm afraid you'll have to bring them to the table with you. Guarita is a magnificent cook. One thing she will not tolerate is food getting cold.
Thank you, honey.
Perhaps it's just as well. I have a Bourgeois I'm very proud of. Hard liquor will just dull the palate.
I just talked to a really nice man who they're moving trucks in there, and I thought, oh, are they dismantling it already? Because I thought filming had wrapped, but apparently no, filming wraps in March. So they are actually going to be filming here today for The Walking Dead. In a couple hours they're going to start. They're bringing in all the trucks and the equipment and the actors eventually. I wish I could stay and hang out, but I got this conference and I have a badge to it, so I should probably go to that, right? So I am here in Sonoya, so this is downtown Sonoya, And this was the location for Woodbury in The Walking Dead. And Woodbury was one of my favorite early places in The Walking Dead. I loved the governor storyline. I thought it looked so idyllic, and it really does look extremely idyllic. I'm standing here in a little gazebo. So you can see, now right behind me there is where Alexandria is. So the location for Alexandria is directly behind the location for Woodbury, which is interesting. So you can see there's Alexandria, and here is Woodbury. I'm going to take a little walk up the street. There's a lot of stuff for The Walking Dead now. There's walking tours, which I can't take today because I have a conference. And there's a little shop, Nick and Norman's, which is the restaurant that Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus opened. I hope to have lunch there before I go. So I'm going to check out some more of the stuff up here. So here's a little more of downtown Sonoya. There isn't too much food. It's actually a pretty small town, but there is some development going on. It's just mostly this one main street, and then there's some other, houses off to the side. And I just wanted to point out that house, so cool looking. A lot of houses look like this here, and I think they're really neat. Just the style of housing, that old style, very cool. Here's the city hall. And if we walk a little bit down this way, you'll see the Walking Dead tours. I think there's tours also for other filming locations. Some of the movies that were filmed in this area, like I think there was parts of Pet Sematary 2 that were filmed here. And there's little plaques all over the place for different movies. So I'm going to show some of them popping up, movies and TV shows. So you can see that building there is the Georgia Tour Company that does tours for The Walking Dead. And here's the Welcome Center. Now I'd have to rewatch Woodbury. It's been a while since I've watched those older seasons, but I know a lot of this place was featured in Woodbury or as Woodbury.
The only smoke is ever going to be safe is a good cigar.
Oh, I disagree. Someday they're going to get the clean tobacco in the right filter. Now, you mark my words.
Gentlemen, shall we continue this in the other room?
That's a very good idea. Very good. Oh, that was fine.
Now, Mr. Harris, what do you think of our island now?
Oh, it's beautiful. Almost unreal. What are those drums? That fisherman told me this afternoon that there would be a sacrifice tonight.
Sacrifice? Nonsense. Well, in your cosmopolitan cities, when you want to enjoy yourself, you go to a nightclub. Even in your small towns, you have bars and movies and dances. Well, here on the island, when the natives want to have fun, they beat on drums and dance.
Well, why do they call this island Voodoo Island?
Any voodoo that's practiced on this island today is quite harmless, I assure you.
Oh, really? Mr. Bentley, I noticed that you had quite an interesting library, and especially the section on local religions and customs.
Oh, yes, that's one of my hobbies.
I was wondering if you minded if I browsed around a while.
Not at all. Help yourself anytime.
Thank you very much.
Well, you'll excuse me. I'm afraid I have to be in the fields rather early in the morning.
And I to my laboratory.
Oh, Doctor, I was wondering if you allowed outside observers to enter your domain. I'd like very much to see your laboratory.
Well, maybe in the morning, after I've finished my rounds, I could give you all a tour of the island.
I would like that very much.
Well, good night.
Good night. Anyone for nightcap,
Not for me. I feel slightly dizzy as it is.
I'm game if you are, honey.
Okay, cutie.
Care to take a walk?
Okay. But I warn you, I've studied jujitsu.
You two care to come?
Now, wouldn't you hate us if we did? No, we're just gonna stay here and get loaded.
Doug, don't you feel tired or something?
Carl.
Oh, look at that moon.
That's nice. Whoops. Bread and butter.
Don't you ever get lonely with no other young people down here?
Sometimes. But I paint. And I swim. And I horseback ride. And I go to San Juan about twice a year.
Maybe I can talk you into coming to Miami soon.
Perhaps. If only I could get my father to leave this island.
Why? Is there something wrong? Maybe I can help.
If only you could.
Good Lord, what happened to you?
Pare! Vengan.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
What's happened? That's what I'd like to find out. We were out there walking in the garden when 3 of these creatures with the eyes jumped on us. 3 of them.
I had no idea the natives were using the drug so extensively. I'll post guards around the house. First thing in the morning, my men and I will go after them. Now, I think it might be best if all of us tried to get some sleep.
Mr. Bentley, perhaps you could answer one question first.
Well, I'll try, but I'm not sure I know what's going on right under my nose.
Well, these men or creatures or things or whatever they are murdered a man this afternoon and tried to kill me. Tonight, they did everything possible to kidnap Janine. Now, why? What do they want?
Mr. and Mrs. Fairchild, would you take Janine upstairs, please?
Certainly. Come along, darling.
I didn't want to frighten them. But you certainly have a right to know as much as I know. No, I don't pretend to know the subtlety of these people's religion. I don't think any outsider does. Here. Why these creatures want Janine? I can only guess. My guesses frighten me. This book was written by one of the foremost experts on voodooism in the world. Now, in it, he tells the story of a medical missionary in Africa whose daughter was killed by the local tribe. Yes, here it is. Dr. Jacobson had been treating the natives for a disease which they'd been stricken with for some time. So many of them were dying that they were willing to try anything. All the young virgins of the tribe had been sacrificed to their god. Dumbella Owida. The only girl left was Dr. Jacobson's blonde daughter. One night, the son of the tribe's chief was stricken with the disease. The chief had the blonde girl sacrificed, and his son recovered. The fact that the doctor had treated the boy, of course, is the thing that saved his life. But the tribe believed that the sacrifice of the young blonde girl had saved the boy's life. Now, I know that the descendants of that tribe are the natives on this island. They were brought here by the slave traders centuries ago.
You mean to tell me that the natives on this island today still believe they can avoid a catastrophe by sacrificing a young blonde virgin, in this case Janine?
It seems to fit.
Well, can't you put a stop to this? Don't you have any control over your own people?
Mr. Harris, these people have had their superstitions for centuries. Now, you can't expect them to drop them in a matter of decades.
I thought you said, Mr. Bentley, earlier this evening that the voodoo practiced on this island was harmless.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'll go post those guards. Good night.
Please go.
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you, but I have to talk to you. Now, I don't know what's going on in this island, but I do know you're in serious trouble. I want you to leave with us tomorrow afternoon at low tide.
I can't. I can't go without my father. I'm all he has in the world.
Well, your concern is very commendable, but I think this is a little one-sided. If you're all he has in the world, I should think he'd want to protect you.
He's a dedicated man. You don't understand that, do you? Without his work, he'd be nothing. It's his whole life.
I thought you told me you were his whole life.
Please, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't know why I'm getting involved in something that's none of my business.
Tom? I'm sorry. I realize you're just trying to help. I need you.
So normally this gate would be closed, but it's open, I think because of filming, so you can actually see a little bit. I obviously can't go in there, but I can see a little bit more of the houses through that gate. So that's pretty cool. You can see a little bit of the houses of Alexandria. So this is Pilant Street. The pudding house is on this street, and also right around here is the filming location where Daryl and Beth took refuge in a funeral home. It's right down the street from Alexandria. Really cute location. Lots of really adorable houses, really nice houses. And they just look, I mean, a lot prettier than anything in The Walking Dead, obviously. But I'm walking up this way because right on the corner of this really awesome house is Morgan Street. Yeah, if you can read, this actually says corner of Pilot and Morgan Street right there. So I thought that was cool. Just had to grab a quick video of it. So there are parts of The Walking Dead that were filmed in Sonoya that unfortunately I can't get to today because I'm on foot. This is kind of a walking tour of Sonoya. So as you can see, the locations I've shown you are all in easy walking distance of each other because I'm wearing boots with heels. I don't know if you can see. And there's no way that I would be walking too far. But I do love walking. Anyway, there's other locations still in Sonoya that were used that I can't visit today, such as the mill. I really wanted to go there. It's used in the opening shot for the show and a lot of other locations. There's also, I believe, Herschel's Bar. Herschel's Farm is nearby, but some of these locations, like Herschel's Farm, is private property and they do not want people to go in there. So, you know, you could go by the gate, but you really wouldn't see anything. Things like the prison were all filmed in like a studio, so you could just see the building, but there's not much to see there. There's no actual like prison location that they used for that. And then the quarry is nearby, which Gio and I visited. I really enjoyed the quarry. I thought it was really cool. We didn't get to go back in there, but we were outside by the gate. The location was really beautiful in the woods, but unfortunately that's a little too far for me right now. There's other cabins that were used in filming locations, things like that, that you can't really see. So I'm walking by Alexandria again. So here is some of the front of Alexandria that you can see. But just walking past because I know they're trying to get set up. And I don't want to get in their way. I wish I could stay and watch filming. It's getting to be a lot nicer right now. There is private property signs all over the place. They have no trespassing. So they're really serious about this right now. But I do want another shot of that beautiful Alexandria. I love the windmill. So just want to get that back in there because I know that's going to be torn down soon. So that's going to be something that's probably in a few months won't be there anymore. But it looks really cool on the skyline. It's very iconic. And I should probably not walk on this road because there's a bunch of cars going in and out here and getting set up. The location has now a lot more trucks than it did a while ago. But I wish I could visit all the other things in Sonoya, but they're about 5 miles away, which is too long for me to walk today.
Adoradores del Dios serviente. Adoradores del Dios serviente. Adoradores del Dios serviente. del Dios serviente. Adoradores del Dios serviente. Adoradores del Dios serviente. La maldición non está rota. Dambaluela non está satisfecho. Papa Nivo, dinos, ¿cómo es posible quitar esta maldición de nuestras islas?
Dame la huella, no está satisfecho hasta que folle la chive sin cuernos. Él quiere a Janine Viladu como esposa cuando la luna está llena.
Gracias, Fernando.
Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Bentley.
Un café, por favor. You seem to have found food for thought. I hope you've done as well by your stomach.
Oh, yes, I've been very well taken care of, thank you.
Where are Mr. and Mrs. Fairchild?
They haven't come down yet. What time is it?
Just after 10. You either work very quickly or you got up very early this morning.
When a story interests me, I move right along.
This one must be fascinating.
Yes, it is. I'm writing about what's happened to us since we arrived on this island. But I'm afraid, like so much of life, no one will believe it.
I don't like to seem inhospitable, but in view of what's happened, I think it might be best for you and your friends to leave the island as soon as possible.
Oh, I quite agree. I've instructed Enrico to locate gas for the airplane.
Terribly sorry this had to happen right now.
Last night, you said you'd show me Dr. Billadue's laboratory.
I'm afraid I'll have to declare the laboratory out of bounds. If you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
Good morning, Tom. Coffee, please.
Morning, Dunk.
Well, well, good morning, lover.
Hi, sweetie pie.
Look, Dunk, your genius has been working.
Hey, buddy boy, looks like you jumped off the mental wagon with vengeance. Oh, boy, I love you, I love you.
Hey, lay off. You'll get the paper all soggy. If you're gonna wear that, I can't stay around here.
You're sweet, honey.
I'll see you two children later.
Hey, listen. After what happened last night, do you think it's a good idea to go wandering around this island?
I've got to find out what's going on around here.
But don't you want me to go with you?
No, you stay here with Coral. And be ready to leave at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I've got Enrico loading the plane with gas, and we'll try to take off in the wet sand.
All right.
Sleepyhead, do you know what time it is?
You'll be happy to know that I've given our conversation of last night a great deal of thought. I've decided to ask Father if he'll leave the island with us. That is, if you want us to come.
Oh, you know I do. I suppose we can get everybody into the plane. Of course, Coral will have to leave some of her luggage behind. Come on. You get dressed and we'll go tackle your father. What is this place?
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
These are symbols that are used in voodoo sacrificial rites.
What was that?
I don't know.
I can't see a thing.
Like this. I don't know, but I know you're coming with us this afternoon. Where's your father's laboratory?
This way.
Come on.
This is it.
This is your father's lab?
Yes. During the war, the Navy built a gun emplacement in the cliffs to protect the bay. Well, Father built it over into his lab.
Come on. Hurry.
Wait, Tom! I know him. He's my friend. Fernando, what on earth are you doing here?
I'm sorry, Miss Janine. I wanted to warn you. You must leave the island.
Why must she leave the island?
She's in great danger. She must leave now, today.
In danger from whom, Fernando?
Papa Nebo, he wants to make you the goat without horns.
What do you mean, goat without horns?
I must leave now. Please, miss, you must go.
What's in here?
I don't know.
I'm here outside Nick and Norman's in Sonoya. This is the restaurant that was owned by Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus. So Greg Nicotero, of course, is the special effects makeup creator. He was a producer and director for The Walking Dead. And he is one of the people in KMB Studios, which is one of my favorite special effects companies. I love the practical effects they do. They just can't be beat. And of course, Norman Reedus plays Daryl Dixon on The Walking Dead. And they opened this restaurant in downtown Sonoya. I just had an amazing lunch there. It was really good. And it has a really cool atmosphere. I'll show you a couple pictures from inside. But this was one of those landmark places I just had to visit while I was here. So this is the Woodbury shop in downtown Sonoya. It is a Walking Dead store and also a Walking Dead museum. So AMC provided them with a ton of stuff, which is really cool. So let's take a look. There are so many props from The Walking Dead here. Clearly he's Big Star. Yeah, everyone knew that. These knives are awesome. Blood Diamond, Bleeding Heart. And then, yeah, they have everything labeled, so there's license plates, a sheriff patch, Rick's walkie-talkie, Rick's face mask, Rick's handcuffs, Lori's tent clock, which, okay, I love Lori. Everyone hates her, but I love Lori. Here's some of the CDC things, which the CDC building they used is in Atlanta. Okay, these are the things, like that's what Merle used to saw his hand off. Carol's purse, I remember that. Here is the list that Glenn had for the pharmacy. So you can see some of the stuff on there. Gum, candy, body lotion, morning after pills. I think that's super funny. Notepads, combs and brushes, Glenn's flashlight, Glenn's map. Here is the gift necklace that Andrea got for Amy, Daryl's cigarettes, Herschel's Bible, Herschel's pocket watch, and Rick's watch. And then Maggie's horse saddlebag, Aaron's listening device, Carl's bullet and dish. So that you can see in the dish is the bullet that they use for the prop. And then there's Shane's backpack. And Shane is my other favorite. Another super unpopular character that I just really loved. And I'm sorry, he's the person I would want to be surviving with. Because you want to survive. If, you know, I'd want someone that would be willing to kill others to make sure they or myself survives. So yeah, that's who I'd want to be surviving with. Although he died, so I guess it really didn't work out that well in the end. There is Judith's applesauce jar, Rick's prison phone, Daryl's crossbow from the seasons 1 through 3. I love this thing. This is, I don't know how you can, well, you can see, you could probably just see my reflection in there, but because it's sunny. But Negan's jacket from season 9, Daryl's saddlebag, one of those shields. Here is Michonne's outfit. So cool. I kind of want to steal it. I like the pants. This is, of course, Daryl's season 2 outfit. And this is really hard to see with their light reflecting, but here, some of the riot gear. And they have, like, all over here, autographed pictures from the cast. This whole wall, autographed pictures. And then this is crew gifts and autographed items that are one of a kind. So this whole case is filled with like every different kind of items, toys, memorabilia. There's cardboard cutout of Daryl. Even cardboard cutouts taller than me. And downstairs is the store.
Janine! What are you doing here? I told you never to come here. Mr. Harris, I thought I left word that I wasn't to be disturbed.
Father, please. I've never seen you like this before. Tom and I came to ask you to leave the island with us. You've been wanting to leave for a long time. Now's your chance.
Come with us, Doctor. I have reason to believe your daughter will be in serious trouble if you stay on here.
Please leave at once. Janine, you go to the house and go to your room.
Father,
do as I say!
It's too late.
Why?
is too late. I know I was very selfish in wanting to keep you here with me. Mr. Harris, I'd appreciate it if you took Janine with you.
Of course, but what's going on in here? What are you people up to?
It's best that you don't know. There's nothing anyone can do. I think you'd better go now.
Father, please. Please come with us. I can't leave without you.
Goodbye, baby.
It's late. We're going to have to leave if we're going to catch that tide.
No. No, Tom, I'm not leaving. Father, no.
Where are they, sir?
It's past 3 o'clock.
Here they come now.
You girls stay here. Enrico, Doug, come with me. Come on, let's get this thing airborne.
Venga. Los matan.
Mr. Harris, look out!
Más rápidos, más rápidos.
There's nothing else for it. See you, buddy.
No, no. Suélteme. No.
No, no, no. No, Papá Nebo, por favor, no me hagas eso. Haré cualquier cosa.
Aguántalo.
No, 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 no.
muerte.
¿Está preparado sacrificio?
Ella está lista, Papa Nego.
Vamos.
Where'd that boat come from?
What are you going to do with the flare gun?
I don't know, but it's better than nothing.
So it's another day, another conference, but it didn't get much more entertaining. But they did have good snacks, and I got another cute outfit on, courtesy of my stolen suitcase. I mean, borrowed suitcase. I feel a little business professional. Whoever is, electric toothbrush, pretty fancy, so that's fun. Been having fun with the makeup. Oh, there's some weird stuff in the suitcase. Let me show you something. I'll be right back. So, I can't figure out what this thing is. It looks kind of weird. I'm thinking like it plugs in. Maybe it's a massager or something. I don't know. Like, ow. Okay, that like pulled my hair. That wasn't fun. I think it's some kind of torture device, so I'm definitely saving that. I might end up needing that back at home. There's some other stuff. Let's see, what else did I find in the suitcase? Yeah, this thing looks all like professional. It's got some like highlighters and a calculator, so that's pretty fun. There's like a little laptop and stuff. It's been a fun experience. Not exactly what I thought a vacation would be, but I'm making some friends at the conference. People seem to like me. They laugh when I talk, so I feel like people are really getting to know me and like me, and I feel like I'm fitting in. I just throw around a lot of buzzwords like fiduciary. I learned that one, and I talk about financial planning, and one time I mentioned like Bitcoin, and everyone thought it was super funny. So yeah, I think I'm doing great here. Well, it's been a really long day. I finally finished all my homework. Yes, this conference gave me homework. But I stayed all through dinner, did all the work. I think I'm getting a concept of some of this stuff. So that's pretty fun. But now that I finished it, kind of thinking I want to go out. Maybe go dancing or something. I don't know, I could go for some music, so I'm gonna see what Atlanta nightlife's all about a little bit, wherever I can walk to from here, but I feel like I should like let my hair down a little, you know, like loosen up. What do I do? Alright, I like this. More like it. Oh, I should change my clothes too and get some makeup on. I mean, this is good. This is good. But I feel like I could do, well, something else. Well, this'll work. I had it out. Hopefully have some fun. And we'll see what's going on.
I wonder where this leads.
I don't know, but we haven't got much choice.
What are they doing?
Wait a minute, I've got an idea. Put these on.
Come on, come on.
Look, comedian, put it on.
the end of Voodoo Island and Charles Pepe's dream of conquering the Earth with an indestructible army. Come on.
Oh, Janine.
Hurry. Janine, hurry. Come on.
Venga, hombre! ¡Mátalo!
Where are they?
I don't know.
¡Ándale, más rápido!
Pass off that line.
What's the matter? The damn thing won't start.
¡Más rápidos! Vayan, hombres, vayan.
Take over. Please don't touch it. I was getting no place with the injections of the animals. So I started using natives as human guinea pigs. And instead of getting closer to a cure for cancer, the bombarded snake venom was setting up a curious reaction in the body tissues, making the subject devoid of will, a human vegetable.
Please, doctor, don't talk.
3 natives died because of my futile attempts. And when he found the results of my experiments, Bentley became obsessed with the idea of creating an army of these unfortunate people. And he threatened to expose me to the authorities unless I helped him with this mad scheme.
But why did Bentley try to kill Janine?
If Bentley needed Father, with me out of the way, he wouldn't have any fear of him leaving.
Oh, my baby. What a life I've given you. Mr. Harris?
Yes, sir.
Perhaps.
The top of the trellis which led to her bedroom, and cautiously he peeked inside. There she was on the bed, naked, her bedclothes thrown off because of the heat.
His heart stopped at her magnificence. He climbed through the window and stood there looking at her. Slowly, she stirred in her sleep. Slowly, her eyes began to open, and they looked at each other. At that rare moment, they knew they must have each other. He stripped off his clothes and was about to go to her when...
Oh, you.
Oh, hi.
You.
Oh!
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that movie. So, Morgan, how was your weekend? Your mysterious weekend?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I had an interesting adventure of my own.
Oh?
And our audience got to accompany us on this. And it was pretty fun. I went to Georgia.
What were you doing in Georgia?
I went to a conference.
You went to that's what you did for fun?
Well, it wasn't like, I also went to Sonoya where they were filming The Walking Dead and I ate at Nick and Norman. It was really fun. That was cool. But I wanted to ask you something. Like, okay, so the last time, you know, when they left me, I was getting ready to head out for a night on the town.
Yeah.
And, like, I got all dressed up because so I went through the suitcase of this person and I wore all their clothes and most of it was very conference-y and not my style. But they had this nice
You
dress.
actually went to these conferences?
Yeah.
You don't go to the conferences. You sign in and say you got to go to the bathroom and then you leave.
You could do that?
Yeah.
I learned so much about finances, though. Like, did you know that we're supposed to balance our budget?
I didn't ever want you to know that.
I didn't even know we had a budget.
We don't. We don't.
I don't know how we afford it. Anyway, I learned a lot about finances and financial responsibility.
Yeah.
And I made some friends.
Oh, good.
And it was pretty fun. But, okay, so I went out to go party.
Okay.
And I got all dressed up and I went out to a club and I'm like, I'm going to go dancing.
Okay.
And, well... there was like nobody there and like I don't know, it was kind of like not that loud and I ended up like reading a book for 2 hours or an hour or something.
What time did you go out? Because your nighttime is vastly different than my nighttime. My nighttime, I can't have that thing in the car for insurance because it jacks up the rates.
Okay, so it was really, I stayed up really late because I knew I had the conference still the next morning.
Right.
And I was like, it's going to be worth it if I go out and party. So I stayed up and went out at 8:30.
8:30?
I stayed up late for this. I like ate dinner and then I got all dressed up and I went out and I was there for like an hour and a half or something reading a book, it was the book for the conference because I had homework and it was a lot of work and I just didn't want to like not do it for the next day and have everyone stare at me. But it wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be being you.
You know, someday I'm going to be looking up at you. I'm going to have to teach you how to party so that way you get on my level.
Please teach me how to party.
Oh, I'm going to teach you how to party.
I have no idea what I did wrong, but it didn't work.
Well, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. You'll be party girl extraordinaire.
I mean, I looked all cute and stuff.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did. But
there was like one other person there, and he was the bartender, and he gave me a drink, and it was really strong, but I couldn't even drink it all because I was tasting it like, and then I dumped half of it out.
But I do think that we should probably send these guys on their way.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
I really want to go teach you how to party now.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for I Eat Your Skin. Hopefully you really enjoyed it or didn't. And send us your hate mail.
Yeah, just let us know.
But in the meantime, we will
Hex
you soon.